Hello. Okay, so please and thank you. Money. Need. Alright, so links below and whatnot. So I'm gonna start now. Here we go. It's not my favorite part. It's really not. But yeah, anyways, so. I'm talking to you again. Just notice my shirt. It's off skew because, well, it's off skew because the little book that I had the shirt in, I thought it was proper, so then when I was drawing it, it didn't come out quite where I wanted it, but it was made with puffy paint. 20 go to 10. I don't know what's going down. So anyways, we're gonna move on. Stream world. Hi, by the way. Should have probably let off with the hi, but I always dread the openings because I don't wanna, you know, because things and stuff. But I'm used to working for money, and it's just it upsets me. I'm sorry, it just does. Let's leave that aside, I guess. So, we last left off with exploring. Okay, that's cute. Excuse me. Okay, that's a spider. So, I have to try to calm down on my my tea consumption because apparently some of these it's supposed to be bad for me even though it has good antioxidants in it. I just can't drink too much because of the caffeine and the high oxidants or whatever are supposedly supposed to crystallize you, and I'm like, well, I don't feel like I'm being crystallized, but okay. I'm like, what else can I eat or drink? I mean, seriously. But whatever, you know. I was told by my body I needed to, like, yeah. Because when you get all jittery from caffeine after a while, your body's telling you, no, you've had enough. So. I might have had, like, maybe 3 cups of tea today. 2 full cups of water. Oh, my cup sizes are 20 ounces. I believe, at least. This is interesting. Are we gonna have a fight, or are we good? Are we good? good. Oh, that's not good though. It wasn't my fault. Okay. Tell me you're not blaming me for that. Tell me you're not blaming me for that. You look very aggressive right now. I'd rather you calm down before I come in there. I think he's wanting to eat me. He looks very aggressive. We were just chill a few seconds ago, and then the stuff happened, and now they want to kill me. I mean, I don't want to kill you. Oh, damn, you hit me. They initiated. Damn it. I tried. Damn it. I don't like you. Ah, panicking. It's so dark in here now. Flip, 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 flip. I wasn't expecting it to go all this far. I wanted him to get stuck in there. But it didn't work out that way, did it? So yeah, trying to think of some other stuff I've done. Oh yeah, I did find out that the I Want to Dance with Somebody, they're actually making a movie off of her, which is hilarious. I did not know that until I started looking it up, and I was like, oh well, you know. And I guess, you know, Whitney Houston has been like, you know, it's a major factor in a lot of music and whatnot. Oh, come on. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. It was a song we were talking about yesterday. I said I'd have to look it up because I had an update and I couldn't look it up. It was, it made my OBS, the program I'm streaming this from, kind of impossible to bring up windows from below where I was bringing them from. But I figured out how to bring them up now, so we can totally look at that together. Hold on a second, let me... Yeah, we're gonna prove this right now. I'm not incompetent. Alright, so... Let me just hide really quick. Okay, so browser. go like this. And then pop that back up. Okay. Alright, this is the only way I can figure out how to do it from there. So, now we're going to see the cute little ducky? To actually Google in disguise. That's what I've been told, but I still like the cute little ducky. So, thank you. Okay, I want to dance with somebody. See, they made a movie, but like, it is greatest female R&B. Da 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 da. Why don't they It's like, yeah, they have all this stuff, but what about the actual name? Whitney Houston right there. That's who sings that. It's like, yeah, okay. I'm gonna pop that up like that, and then we're gonna go back over here really quick. Okay, so we can still research things. Isn't that fun? Alright, so this little green thing is following me. It won't go into the pickaxe. I'm having a problem here. Oh my goodness, you scared me. You flip. Huh? Okay, let's see if I can get them to go down there. Oh no. Oh flip. Bye bye. Alright, so that was a friendlier way of doing things. Making sure I'm not missing any iron. Whoops. Okay, that works. Bye bye. Are you kidding me? Who attacked me? Oh, flip. That's thing wasn't over there, so who the hell attacked me? Do I go down to explore? I can always come back up. Oh, they'll be fine there. So, gotta find... Where the heck did this location go? I'm sorry, I was going through some of these things earlier and... No, that's not it. There it is. Okay. So, oh, I remembered some more animes while I was thinking about it earlier. I like Fruit Basket. That was like the most cute, very, very cute anime thing. Okay, so this is 6. Oh, we gotta go this way. But it's a very, very cute anime. No real fighting in there. It was kind of like a love story, almost. I mean, depends on how you look at it. Oh, flip! Ah! I'm freaking. Ah! But, no. Ah! I'm freaking. Okay, but anyways, it's kind of like a love story. It's cute. So I think I might have lost it. Oh, I haven't been here. That's cool. Oh, that's scary. But, yeah, Fruit Basket. Okay, so there was this one that I picked up because I was like, oh, this anime is about mermaids, but it was, kind of really strange. This teenage boy accidentally marries this mermaid who's, like a mermaid bride or something, but marries this, mermaid by accident because she saved him like a really long time ago, and if a mermaid saves humans, since the only way he could live is if they married each other, and it was just weird. But that was kind of cute until it got really weird. Because he's like trying to date her, and then other people wanted to date him because of her, and I was like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Oh, Inuyasha was pretty damn good too. My favorite character was Lord Shishomaru, Inuyasha's brother. I always thought that like Inuyasha and Kagome were just like, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, that could be cute, but like what really like wowed me was Lord Shishomaru, like Shishomaru. He's just like, he acted like he was all tough and everything, and like he was arrogant and everything, but yet he still protected this little human girl, like the lone sole survivor out of this village, and it was just like, oh, he's actually a big softie, you know. There, and like inside, there's like there's this something that's hidden, and it it was appealing towards the character design. I mean, you know, I like nice people, okay, even if they try not to show it. Okay, so I need. Oh, that's scary. Okay, so I am going down on the negative 1875. And then I need. Okay, so I need to go this way. Gotta go up too. I guess that didn't really go. Okay, so 1875. Up there it is. Oh, there's so many bats around. Okay, so start that down. Wow, there's something going on up there. Kind of feeling like I should go check it out. right, I was keeping these things down here. So I could put that back up. Yeah. Damn it. I don't have any potions, or I would be curing these angry villager things. I'm sure you know by now I'm gonna get super duper lost before I find anything. Oh, you know what? Let's go this way. Wait, stuff to explore over here. Okay. Oh, look at that. Interesting. Well, that's interesting. Okay, have not explored. Okay, so there are a lot of things down there. Aw, look how cute. Uh-oh. Okay, so I do see some, that's like a daisy, not a daisy, but like, what are those things called? The yellow ones? There's something over there, a flower, one of those yellow flowers. Holy flip, I thought that was like right beside me. Oh, no, underneath. Boop, boop. So apparently there's this weird kind of war that's going on between men and women, and men and transvestites and women and transvestites, and like, I'm just like, damn. But anyways, and then also vegetarians and meat eaters, and just like, what are you not going to fight about? It's just like, can we agree on something? Anything? Maybe? Just anything? It's like, why is everybody trying to, like, divide? I guess it's that whole divide and conquer crap. I don't think you're gonna like this. Okay, so. So, not only do I not want to get involved with, like, anything, anything, but I'm sitting here shaking my head. I've watched some of these males pretending to be females and saying that they want women's rights and whatnot. I'm like, dude, um, what extra rights are you trying to you go for? Because you have the same rights as any male. I mean, honestly, but yes, there are some wage gaps and everything because um, stupid reasons. But then there are like um, job gaps too because certain women will not take certain jobs because they will be sexually harassed in those said jobs, and it's not good. So, in order to not be sexually harassed or objectified in certain jobs because certain people don't know how to behave around the female persuasion, they they decide to lower the pay to deter women from going after these certain jobs because they know they're going to be objectified and all this good stuff, and then it just turns into a whole lot of fuel for other people to complain about. And it's just like, can we just not? But anyways, so these males who are pretending to be females and this whole like transvestite thing, I'm like, oh, I am as a woman, I am honored that you want to be a female because I am a female, but not all females act the same way, and not all um males want to be, surprised with the fact that you were born a male. You might want to have a little bit of disclosure there. Yeah, just a lot, but there are people out there who are thinking that females never existed. I'm just like, are you serious? What do you mean females don't exist? I was like, wow, well, what do they call me now? Because, like, I'm confused. I'm really confused if females never existed. Oh my goodness, if you go through some of this stuff, it's just craze after craze. But, so, I was yelling the other day. Yes, we're going to vent. I was yelling at the TV the other day before Coco stopped me in my tirade of me screaming at the TV. So, there is this male who put on a dress and decided to say that he was a female, and other transvestites are really angry at him because he's not being serious about it. He doesn't want any surgeries. He doesn't want any of that. And I'm just like, dude, you don't have to like force surgeries on people for them to sit there and cosplay. Because that's pretty much what it is. It doesn't matter if you put a dress on or not, you're still a male. I know you can hate me for this. Your genetics are not going to lie to people. It is going to come to the point where people are going to sit there and have a little handheld blood thing, just like those, what are those things called? Those diabetic ones. I actually have one because I had diabetes for a little bit. I mean, I had to be put on a strict diet and whatnot because, diabetes. Type 2. I wasn't born with it. I accumulated it. Um, my body went through certain changes that I could not adapt properly, and then I got diabetes. And woohoo, I cured it. Well, not me personally, but my body went through the motions, and it is fine now. I no longer have diabetes. So, I was happy to find that out, but anyways, your genetics, okay? They're not going to lie. You either have a X chromosome or a Y chromosome in your DNA, okay? They can find this out genetically. I mean, like, well, by blood. They can find this out. I think they're up to par with finding it out with saliva. Ooh, flip, that's scary. How, where? I just heard the witch. I'm freaking. I'm freaking. It's over in that direction. It has to be. But, I don't want to go over there. But, anyways, suffice to say, it's going to get to that point where people are going to be carrying around these things, and then, like, they're going to find out if you have any sexually transmitted diseases with it. They're going to find out if you were born a male or a female. People are trying to push for people not to have the sex on their kids' birth certificates. I'm like, why? Why should they be ashamed of what they were born as? I mean, just because you're having shame for it doesn't mean they have to. Don't you think they want to know what they were born as? But it gets really, really sketchy with all different kinds of things going on. It's like one problem after another problem after another problem, and nobody wants to play nice with anything, and everybody's fighting over this and that, and now people are fighting over their diets. I'm like, are you serious? I mean, I know I sound like I'm whiny and complaining about it, but, like, this bothers me. It's like, okay, yeah, carnivore. I have a mostly carnivore diet. I gotta eat some roughage too, but then people are telling me that I can't even eat my roughage now. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? I was like, you can't police my diet. My body's already doing that. You're way below what the expectations of what my body needs. So I'm not going to listen to anyone on this subject other than what my body says is proper and good. I'm just like, no. I can't eat just only meats because I need other vitamins too. I can't eat all veggies because I need proteins. And I know that there are proteins in the vegetable kingdom, but not the type of proteins I need. So, that, anyways, so, I wonder why everybody is fighting so much over these certain things. And, like, not only are they trying to kill women's sports by putting transvestites in them, that's what they're doing. Because males are deciding that they cannot compete with other males, so that they have to compete with women. And I'm just like, are you for real? It's like, we're kind of genetically different in those departments. Like, the whole body frame of a woman is shaped differently for different purposes. Okay? Now, we are not full-on long runners because the way our bodies are shaped, even though there are people who like to run. And they go about running. and they can be in these triathlons and compete against other males, but that's because they have been training their whole flippin' lives for this. And to have people who have been training their whole lives for this, to have a male come over and like whoop them in this department, this sport that they have been training their whole lives in, when they've just picked it up in like, like 3 to 4 months ago or like a year ago. And it's like, no, no, they should not be running with females. No offense. Like, I don't mean like they shouldn't be socializing with females, but they should not be competing against females in these sports. There are transvestites that are pushing to be in female sports, and males who are pretending to be females only to win at these certain sports, like kickboxing. That is a male beating on a woman. No, that is awful. So not only are they a womanizer for doing such actions, I'm not trying to say that women cannot do certain things, but if a full-grown male that is built like I'm not going to say like a truck, but built like even a medium-sized build, and they're not a soy boy, there's not much you can do with them beating down on you. There is quite the disadvantage with that, because the muscular structure of a female compared to a male is a lot different than most people actually like to give credit, unless they themselves have been juicing. Okay, so it's not the vegetable juicing, it's testosterone. They gave it this code word for as juicing, but it's actually like injections of this chemical compound that swells the muscles. You're not as strong as you look, but it swells the muscles, and people say it shrinks a certain other. Yes, I'm getting red because you can tell that it shrinks another type of muscle, and it drives males to be very, very agitated and angry, which is interesting and bad at the same time. I'm waiting for morning. And I heard a witch around. I am scared. I am waiting for morning so that I can see them. So, I have no problem with people playing pretend and people wanting to identify as certain things. I know a few people who want to identify as a some sort of flying attack helicopter, and I'm like, okay. I was like, well, then I am myself. I identify as myself. It's like, okay, I'm just like, I will identify as whatever I am like pretending to be at any time, I guess. This is what the world's come to. So, the craziness that is. And then like I hear these other YouTubers who are like talking about aliens. They're like, just take me already. I don't want to be here. I'm like, okay. I was like, they'll probably have to vet you first, and then put you in quarantine just to make sure none of this comes to them. Just, I'm telling you, it's behavioral. It's totally behavioral. But okay, so some of it is malnutrition, because you can tell when someone hasn't been eating properly. They have some cues, and they'll be very, very agitated in certain ways. I get pretty damn hangry myself, but I will normally get weak after my anger phase. It's not fun. has moved on. Or they're just being really quiet. Okay, so we're still waiting for morning. Trying to think. All right. I am I'm saddened by the state of what's going on. I have no problem with people doing weird things in their bedroom behind closed doors, but whenever they start doing like gay pride events with chaps on and nothing underneath these chaps, and everyone can see their little hindquarters behind, just as they're walking down the street half naked, or women wearing dildos on their private parts walking down. That's they were doing concerts like that. It's like over sexualizing everything. I'm like, dude, there's nothing wrong with sex. There's nothing wrong with sex with the right partner, as long as it's consensual and everything is fine, everything is kosher, you both agree on what you're agreeing on, and everybody is a flippin' consenting adult. There's nothing wrong with it. But holy F, you don't need to scar children in the process of throwing your gay pride event. You don't. You don't. It's not, oh, we're forcing you not to, forcing you into a little box or whatever. No, hun. It is not like that at all. You can get aggressive all you like about it. Nobody cares what you do in your bedroom as long as it is consensual and they don't have to hear about it. You like to wear like flippin' baby clothes. I mean, this is the weirdest thing that I've been seeing on YouTube, this new trend of adults acting like little babies and then wanting to do the deed. I'm like, okay, you do that in your bedroom all you want. I don't want to see footage of that, honestly. I don't normally watch cringe videos, but when they do pop up on my feed and I'm doing research on stuff, I don't, it's awful. It's just, I'm like, okay, yeah. So if you've seen some of my YouTube feed and you hear me baby talking as a duck, okay, because I got into character, that's not me wanting to do things behind closed doors. That's me pretending to be a baby duck, okay? So let's get that straight right now. I have a video where I was trying to find this one achievement, and I got kind of agitated while I was the little baby duck because, little kids are impatient and whatnot. I was going full on character. I mean, method acting. I think I have that bug, but it's some things disturb me in certain ways, but I am just like, okay, I can respect people with their uniqueness and the way they want to do things. Just try to keep it behind closed doors or in like forums where no children can see these things. I mean, if you're trying to like make a group and whatnot, you would possibly go on the internet and to a forum or a chat room to find other like people, correct? Don't do it in a forum where children can see this stuff. Please be cognitive of this. There have been an outrising of people who were scarred by certain things that ended up feeling like they were these certain things. And I'm just like, okay, well, how did this happen? And then they go through about how they were shocked into these kind of things, like when they were 13, when they were 12. And I'm like, first off, why were they able to watch these things, you know, where there are no parental things to watch, you know, to keep these kids from like getting onto these types of chat rooms and stuff? And then I remembered my go-who at Yahoo. I got on this one like chat room because I was like, yeah, I like Pokemon, and I wanted to see what was going on with Pokemon, but there was just a whole lot of people trying to do the whole sexting thing, and I was just like, what the flip is going on? That it was kind of scarring whenever you had like grown adults like trying to jump you in the chat room, like, oh, this, you know, like, how old are you? And you would sit there and tell them your age, and then you'd have people like trying to hit on you, and it was like, whoa, no, stranger danger, stranger danger. Can I, thank you. But they don't even teach kids stranger danger anymore. And I'm like, what? Why not? That was a good technique, you know? You don't recognize the person, you're feeling unsafe. What do? You go and find an adult because of stranger danger, you know? Someone's trying to harass you in certain ways. What do? You tell an adult because stranger danger. I mean, when you get older, that still applies. Whenever your gut tells you, like, no, this is a sketchy instance, we need to back off and try to figure out what's going on. I mean, dude, listen to your instincts, you know, for most of the time. Now, if it says, oh, I need a piece of chocolate cake after I've just ate like a whole crap load of food, and you're like, oh no, I'm stuffed, but I still want that chocolate cake. No, don't listen to that. I mean, you could possibly, if you could fit like a bite, maybe, but don't eat the whole cake. I'm not fat shaming, I'm just saying don't engorge yourself. Alright? Because if you engorge yourself, then you're hurting yourself. Your body was only meant to hold so much, and whenever you keep pushing the lining of your stomach, then you start adding, what is that called? Okay, you'll start getting acid reflux. Your health will start deteriorating. You'll get moody, you'll get cranky, and as well as the fact that you will start, what is that word? Acid reflux. I think I already said that, but it just ends up not working well. Sweets occasionally are fine. Nobody's stopping you. But if that's all you're eating, dude, what are you doing to your body? Chill out. Eat some meat. Eat veggie. Eat what your body's craving. Possibly take some vitamins. You know, go to a doctor. Check, see what you're low on. You know, work up from there. Slow down on your sugar and cake consumption unless you're like a sugar beast and you need flippin' sugar. Don't ask, you don't want to know. And I mean, other than that, you know those people who only eat sugar and they never gain a single ounce and there's no drugs involved. Yeah, anyways, so I'm telling you, don't ask. And so moving on. Now, do I think that they're beasts? No. I think that they can pack down a whole crap load of sugar like somebody, like nobody's business, okay? And then not gain a single flippin' ounce. No jealousy there. I have some stress weight that I'm trying to lose because it hurts my knee. I am, I think, 15, if not like 18 pounds over what my goal weight I want. And if I go above that 20-pound mark, then my knee is hurting me all the flippin' time. And it's like, and I don't want to get up, I don't want to move. I become a lazy beast, and I'm just like, grr, wake me in the winter. Well, not winter, but wake me in the summer or spring. Like, I need to hibernate, flip. Because you get tired all the flippin' time. It's like that extra weight, it like weighs you down. And again, I am not flippin' fat shaming. I don't care if you're happy about your weight. I don't care if you feel like I am one of those people who will stress eat. I totally do it. Does it make me feel better about myself? No. Does it ease certain burdens? Nope. It makes me feel just a little bit happy because of the sweets, the sugar. Okay, so I'm going to run you through what I do when I get upset. Ice cream. Alright, it's not that much either. It's like maybe a scoop to like 3. I might go after like a Hershey Kiss. I might set a Hershey Kiss up on like my side little thing, and if I do my job and everything, I'll use it as a bribery technique, like a reward. I'm gonna eat that Hershey Kiss afterwards. But when I get like super bummed out, I might return for more ice cream, and then I feel bad about it. I will go full on gluttony whenever it is like holiday season. But first off, I know people think that like tough love is good and whatnot. You don't want the tough love on yourself. Don't give it to somebody else, okay? If you can't handle somebody sitting there telling you that you're a fat mess slob thing, then don't sit there and tell somebody else that they're a fat mess slob thing, okay? Because everybody has their highs and their lows, okay? You may be fit and whatnot now, but then as your metabolism starts to slow down, you're gonna get a little chunk. Sometimes it's harder for people. I didn't look at you. I did not look at you. Okay, so sometimes it's harder for people to get rid of that chunk. Sometimes they just need a friend to walk with, you know? It's like, hey, do you want to go walk to the pond, or you want to go walk to the lake, or you want to walk around the trail? That would be positive, you know, weight loss or whatever. I like going on walks. I'm sorry. It's like I possibly get the same reaction as a dog whenever it's like, yeah, you want to go for a walk? I'm like, yeah! Sorry. But, like, what's the weather like, you know? And then I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's go for a walk. I flippin' love walking around the neighborhood, looking at everybody's competitive festivity thing. You know how some neighbors get a little too competitive with their holiday spirit? I like it. It spreads wonder, honestly. I'm just like, yeah, that is flippin' awesome. I honestly like making my Christmas crafts and stuff, and my Halloween crafts. Trying to think. Oh, that's scary. That's lava. Hold on a second. Let's see if I can't get rid of that. Okay, possibly not, but it's gonna keep things from coming forward on me. Alright, so I I like making little, what are those things called? Paper mache kind of things where you like sit there and you fold the paper and then you snip it to make like little things. Well, you can make this cute little this bat like thing if you like to make bats. Learned it in art class once. It was cute. I loved it, and I do that with snowflakes and these little bats and stuff. Okay, I'm gonna put that right there. But like, trying to think of some other little craft-like things that are cute. I mean, I guess if you got the eye for it, if you fold a piece of paper a certain way that you can make little like people, or like, you know, you draw out the little design, but you gotta keep just one little corner of it to where like it makes some sense, but yet it still holds the rest of it, because this one side is, if you cut that side, it ends up screwing the whole bit of it. I'm sure that there's some YouTube videos, you know. Props to the little craft people who like to, not like little, but you know, to the craft people who like to invent things artistically. Some fun times crafting. Because not only do you work your imagination out, but you also inspire people in a lot of different ways. Because, okay, so more people who have been introduced to crafts as a child will end up taking what they learned from those crafts and then trying to apply it to other different things. Like you could be like teaching, you could be teaching like little engineers and little people who are oh, I'm out of the sticks. I'm like, why can't I make more of these? Little people who are really gung-ho into learning how to do certain things after this. Like, oh, I've done this. I've created this masterpiece of art, and like everybody was happy that I did it. And then from there they can go about trying to learn other things from that, just because they were inspired because of the positive attention, positive reinforcement. So don't sell crafts short. So, are we good, or are you trying to kill me? Oh, he's trying to kill me. Whoops. Rest in peace. So, I like seeing people inspired to do grand things, honestly. It's like you never know what someone's gonna be until you give them that chance. Because just because they've been this way and everything doesn't mean that they're going to stay this or that way, like forever and ever. Was given the chance, that's true. Someone could do some vile things, but they could also do some fantastic things as well. I'm not saying like open your house to everyone that you don't know. But I'm saying like if you have kids and whatnot, you might want to interact with them. They are your spawn after all. Yeah, that makes me sad. Certain reasons I can't talk about it, but it I worry, you know. People put more digital devices in people in their little children's hands, and they're just like, hey, technology, raise these people, even though I don't screen what you're watching or what is actually teaching you. Just teach people. Just teach these little things, you know? It's like, what happened to the, family time? All this other stuff. Not like being forced to sit there and listen to one person talk about. Okay, I'm not supposed to talk about that. Anyways, so, not just sit there and pretend to be a family, like actually being a family. And, you know, what happened to that? Actually caring about what people have done in their day. And, like, oh, did you learn anything new today at school? Did you... Rest in peace. Okay, I just freaked out. But anyways, it was like, did you learn anything today at school? How did that make you feel? Not to go all weird about it, but like, it's like, so you learned that this person didn't do this, or that person didn't do this, or... Mother flip. Why did it... Okay. So, I'm really not liking them. The school systems. If you've heard what I've heard, and what I've personally had to go through while in school, you wouldn't like some of these school systems either. I mean, not just the college, flipping stuff. Get off of me. I know you're trying to push me into the flipping... Sorry. Anyways, so not just the colleges and whatnot, and the lack of stuff that they're actually teaching you for the amount of money that you're having to pay. It's ridiculous in that department. It's like, oh, so I'm just buying the title of going to school here but not learning anything? Grand. Fantastic. This is stupid. But these elementary schools are being bombarded with this critical race theory, which is supposedly something totally horrible. It's teaching kids that they should be ashamed of their skin content if they're white, and that because our forefathers had been sold slaves that were black, white, and all the colors in between, because yes, white people were slaves. They still are in some countries. And this one too. People are being stolen from their homes and then used and forced into slavery. So it's like, uh, if only people would get off of that flippin' slave trade. But anyways, trying to go back into the critical race theory. So they're teaching people that white man bad, white people bad. So I am supposedly some sort of devil creature from the depths of this or that. Okay. You don't know what depths I've come from. You do not know me at all. Okay, first off, don't try to put me in some sort of damn category just because I share different beliefs than you. Or if I know something that you don't know, I'm not going to sit in your category because I don't appreciate being thrown in a category, first off. It's not like, oh, yes, I'm anti-category. Nope. It's not like that at all. It is, first off, you'd have to know somebody in order to judge somebody. I don't know other people. I don't judge them. If I know you, then I possibly know you because of certain things that you normally do. There is a pattern. There is what you are versus what other people see you to be. You get my drift? Normally, I don't care what people have done. It's who they are, who they act, what they act like, and how they carry themselves. I don't judge you for the content of your skin or lack thereof, or okay, so this critical race theory is, as it sounded, stupid enough to sit there and try to segregate a certain type of people and just to sit there and balance the scales. I'm like, okay, first off, no, that's not going to fix anything, okay? You are just trying to enforce more slavery on other people by sitting there going, oh, white people bad. And then nobody can do anything wrong from this skin tone. I'm like, are you kidding me? No. If they do something illegal, that's illegal. They are supposed to be held to the full accountability of the law. Not like, oh, well, we understand that you came from a bad background. No. Lots of people have come from bad backgrounds. And they've clawed their way up from these bad backgrounds and made themselves a valid member of society in tons of different ways. There are people who have, hold on a second, there are people who have gone through extremes and still are quality people. I mean, like, people that I would sit there and lay my life down for. Quality people. And it doesn't matter what color their skin is. It doesn't matter what they went through unless they're sitting there wanting to tell you what they've gone through. It's how they are. This is how they're acting. This is how they are. It's not, oh, because of your melanin content, you are this. I'm like, okay, do you know me? I'm some sort of white devil supremacist, like, flippin' crazed person because I don't believe that children should learn critical race theory? That I am some sort of insane lunatic because I value children and them not being psychologically scarred and manipulated into causing a whole lot of dilemmas further on in life? Okay. I don't know what you're seeing, but I think I'm pale Caucasian. The face is normally burned. Excuse me. But, I don't get a lot of the computer screen hitting me on my arms. But there's a lot of right there, and the TV as well. I tend to burn. And then I get like 4 to 5 shades redder whenever I get embarrassed by something, you know, or flushed with other, you know. Anyways, so we're not going into that subject, but I honestly, I can't fathom why anyone would want to sit there and judge a whole, like judge everyone just because of a certain thing. I don't judge all transvestites to be this or that. I know each one of them is unique and individual. Some of them act the same, but they're unique and individual. They might be eating certain things. They might be doing certain things. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. Some of them are still in the closet, and some of them are, you know, kind of going through some rough times. Ooh, I saw that too. Look at that. That's a gem. That is diamonds. But I'll have to come back to that. I wanted to explore this cave. But everybody is going through their own little journey in life, and it's compounding that people should, like, first off, most of the time, mind their own business. It's like, if your son or daughter wants to be with a same-sex couple, whatever. Let them be themselves. Don't force them. Don't try to give them a sexual, you know, change or whatever. Don't force, like, operations. Oh, so many diamonds. Don't force operations on them. That is so cool. Also, don't nag them about becoming doctors if they don't even like the sight of blood. What the flip is this? It's like, you've had your life. You have money. You have standing. Okay? There's nothing stopping you from becoming a doctor. If you really want a doctor in the family, you become that doctor. Maybe they want to be a DJ. Maybe they want to be something else. Maybe they want to maybe they want to try being an artist. Who knows? You shouldn't, like, sit there and go, oh, no, you can't do this because of that. If they can sit there and have a job and work on their art, work on their degree for this or that, then they should be able to sit there and quite happily, I'm not trying to pick that up, I'm trying to pick this up, quite happily do what they want to do, because this is their life. It's not your life whenever they get to adulthood. You are mere teacher in the eyes and the grander scheme of things. So I can't fathom. I'm just like, what the flip? People trying to push other people into doing things? I was like, what are you gonna wipe their butt till they're like adults too? I mean, what is this? What is this? It's like, oh, we just want them to succeed. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you can sit there and be there for them to get them to succeed. You can sit there and be that little crutch just in case they need you to be there. But no. Not everybody has those little crutches. Not everybody has that, people who want to take care of them. They just want to disown them and throw them to the sheep. Yes, I meant to say sheep. People who want to sit there and all act the same and not express themselves in a normalized way. They want to just force everything on everybody else. the shape. Holy moly, I'm out. Eight. I'm panicking. I am panicking. I am panicking. Me, I'm panicking. Does she even follow me? No. But anyways, so I don't understand why parents want to force their ideals and beliefs on people. Okay, when you get to a certain stage in life, you want to explore the world because you're an adult now, okay? So when you have people sitting there plotting your whole life before you can even live even a little bit of your adulthood, then you end up not going to school, okay? But not wanting to do what your parents had wanted you to do to begin with. And then you end up in this existential crisis mode where you're like, I don't know who I am. I don't know what I want to be, you know? And then it gets to the point where there are lots of people changing their majors like halfway through, and it's just like, okay, well, that's usually because of this or that. I don't think he's going to be able to get over, but just in case. He did. Flip. Excuse me, sorry. This is... But... So then you have people who are like sitting there trying to force their religious beliefs on other people, and I'm not gonna get into that, but it's just, it's sad, really. And then like you have all these people who are saying like, oh, well, this and that, and then I found out that this and that didn't exist, and I really don't want to go into religion right now. I really don't. It must be nighttime because they're like spawning like crazy. But I feel bad for today's youth. Not only are they being programmed by the schools to believe the real world is nothing like what they're teaching them. Did I really run out of arrows? Flip! That sucks. Alright. I'm just gonna sit here from afar then. I want that diamond over there. This is why I'm in this little cavern. But it's getting to the point where people need these super safe places, and it's just, I believe in safe places to learn, to grow, to decompress. You know, people need rooms, you know, but these safe places where people are saying like, oh no, you can only be a certain ethnicity or a certain skin color in order to be in these safe places. Ugh, there's a flippin' witch now. I hope she despawns. I really hope she despawns. I don't want to mess with the witch. I mean, look at all these other enemies around. She's gonna, like, everything is gonna kill me. And I'm out of arrows. But I can't fathom. Like, Why? Now, I've been told that they've just started this critical race theory, like, in the last 3 years. But I'm like, no, that can't be possible because so many people are flipping brainwashed by this, so that they probably been doing this for up 10 years. Flipping. And then I worry about, like, my family going through this stuff, and it's just like, it's awful. It's awful. I don't think I'm done venting. Let's continue. Let's talk about politics next, you know? Since we're here already. I hate politics. I'm serious. It's just another way for people to fight about stupid things too. It's like, get your heads out of your butts, figure out what's wrong, and then fix it. I'm sick of these damn elections that nobody's allowed to honestly vote on the person that they want to vote on, and then the politicians sitting there saying that they're going to do certain things that they don't ever do. It's like, I'm sick of it. I am so sick of it. I'm like, the government is supposed to be for the people, by the people, by the people, for the people, and in the best interest of the people. When the government is trying to take over and make and construe these little itty bitty boxes they want you to fit in, there's something wrong. There's something very wrong. And it pisses me off. I don't like freedom to go bye-bye. Okay? Freedom needs to stay, especially in the land of freedom. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, go take those other places. And then you find out that these other places are trying to fight for their freedom. And I'm like, continue. Bring freedom everywhere. Bring it. I'm serious. It's like, I can't fathom why no one would want freedom. This freedom is a good thing. It's like these dictatorships and whatnot. It's like, are you serious? Do you even know how to take care of your people? No, they don't. All they want to do is get fat, greedy, and like have everybody helpless. And then just keep getting rich off of that. And it's like, are you serious? It's like, not only do you not know how to take care of your people, but you're enslaving them. And I'm sure that people are like sitting there going like, oh yeah, that's kind of what dictatorship is. And I'm just like, it's stupid. I know that sounds ridiculous to sit there and say, but I'm just saying it is really, really stupid. I'll have to, I'll block this off until there's no more, witches there. Ooh, there's gold. But, I get really, really confused. Really confused. It's like, okay, so when did freedom become this, like, appalling act? When did it become so bad that the only ones that are allowed to get this freedom are the people who are trying to enslave others? I'm like, that doesn't fly. That really doesn't fly. Like, anywhere. Because you're still going to have angry people. And you're still going to have people who want their freedom, and it's only a matter of time till the masses arise and conquer the damn, dictators. I don't understand how they don't understand this. There's plenty of history behind this. That their crap is going to hit the fan. Like, legit. Hit the fan. And they have no one to blame but themselves. I don't believe in any form of slavery, honestly. And before you start saying that, like, ranchers are enslaving the cows and animals and whatnot, it's like, okay, they're providing them with food, shelter, and safety. Okay? Not everybody agrees to this, and it's a harsh fact that our food gets sheltered. And one day, possibly way, way in the future, people may be harvested just like cows because of this ridiculousness that is happening now. Because obviously sentient creatures don't enslave themselves. Obviously sentient creatures do not sit there and try to make things horrible for one another. Because we're going to possibly get into the phase where some other creature entity or likelihood of maybe even like some celestial beings, okay, that don't even have forms, come here and go, well, these things are not sentient, they are aggressive and they need to be taken over. And then we're just meat suits for everyone. So that may happen. It's sad to say, but you never know. Oh crap. I might have to kill that thing. I'm sorry. I'm freaking out because I know that the witch is somewhere around there. Alright. Oh, I don't want to be enslaved. I mean, does anyone? Holy F. I worry. Okay, I think I still see the pointy hat over there. I am going to block this way off as well, because I am freaking. I want the diamonds. I could build my way over or chop a... Yep, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah, we went from like cute little stories about like spending time with your family to I don't like critical race theory and dictators are mean and stupid. I give no F's. Stupid. Because you're going to end up killing yourself with your dictatorness. I know that's not a word, but damn, it should be. I mean, honestly, if you think about it, all throughout history, what has happened to anyone who's tried to enslave anyone else? You think that, like, the drugs and the programming and whatnot are going to stop people from rising up and kicking some butt? It's really not. They're just going to be happy as they kick your butt. I mean, and then they're going to have to wean themselves off of these drugs. Really? Where did you come from? I mean, okay, so I'm going to try to explain this properly. So Americans are like other races, they are a tough breed. I'm not saying that it's like some sort of ailment or whatever, but we are defiant little mother effers. And although um, we mean well in certain ways, we do not like our freedoms being taken. And whenever we sit there and deal with things over and over and over and over and over again, we will only deal with certain things so much before we blow up, and our little aggression is going to turn into big aggression. And people are going to go crazy, like Mad Max style crazy. Like defiant, angry, driven pieces of people who want nothing more than to get what's theirs because they've been hurt so many times that they feel like they're entitled to it. And when people are starting to feel entitled to certain things that should already be free to begin with, some crazy stuff starts happening. People will start fighting over things that they're supposed to be entitled to. I think we have a little bit of that going on already, but I'm trying to not talk about certain things, but yet still hint towards other things. You know what I mean? But so defiant mother effers. I like to put it on record that it's not my fault, even though I am very defiant myself. That it's because of a lot of different things. Let me just use this instead. It's because of a lot of different things that people have gone through and had to deal with, and I thought that was something else. When you take people and you promise them one thing, and then you keep telling them that they're going to get it, eventually it's gonna come to the point where they're like, I'm done waiting. This is stupid. And they're going to start taking. And I think Americans are pretty much to that point. I mean, like the rioting, for one, that's because of the ones that are doing it stupid, like, that's because they're greed. But the ones who are rioting for freedoms, natural freedoms that should be flippin' instilled in everything that is America, they're going to start getting violent from what I'm catching on to. And when these good rational people start getting defiant and going about getting revenge for certain things that have happened, I have nothing to say on the matter of them getting revenge for certain actions towards their children, certain actions that have altered the good way of life. And what I mean by good way of life, I mean where common morals were upheld for multiple generations that have just been thrown out to nothingness, honestly. Just because people want to sit there and play dictatorship with a people who have had enough of these dictators, even in foreign countries. I can't fathom why anyone would sit there and want to be a dictator when they're going to be a dying breed, honestly. It is only a matter of time. Rebellions will happen. People will fight for their right to, yes, to party and to be free. Where the hell is this diamond? I know it's over there. I saw it. I've been building towards it. It's not on that side, it was on this side. There it is. Okay, so I need to go 2 more spaces in. Okay, that's scary. I think I might actually be right on top of it. Okay, there it is. Let me just get down there so I can get it. I honestly want to talk about something nice. Really do. I'm still agitated about these flipping... all this crazy crap. I mean, it's compiling though. It's stupid. I mean, how much more is everyone gonna take? Because I've reached my boiling point, like... A long time ago. I've been overboiling for a while. Okay, that's just... Whoops. That's just blue stuff. I like to think I'm pretty damn patient. It's like, are they just trying to like sit there and confuse people to the point where they're just like, ah, no, I give up. F this, I'm done. Or what? Oop, that's not cool. You punk. I don't like you. May the light make you go. Bye bye. Okay. I'm so sick of it. It's like, I want to talk about something else. I hate this. I want to go somewhere else. Flip. Yeah, I know I sound like a whiny kid and whatnot, but what can I do? Do I have to raise an army? I mean, like, I'm not gonna raise an army. Shut up. And, it's like someone will swat me or something. I might have miscalculated that one. Okay. Because I wanted to build my way over to the gold, but I think I need to head this way a little more. I have a skyward city and making good use of the blocks though. So, how's everyone else's night doing? I'm a cranky mess. Almost to that though. That doesn't really help. It's gonna make a little more sense in a minute. I don't want to get knocked off. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, don't! Don't! No, please! Ah, come on. Why would you do that? I'm grouchy today. Just deal with it. I am not, oh, woe is me. I am, oh, woe is the world. And I'm sad that I have to deal with this. Because the world is so beautiful, and why should the world have to sit here and deal with the rest of this crap? Just because people want to sit there and rule one another. Honestly. I think people need to grow up. I mean, obviously, it's something juvenile people do whenever they're even playing a video game. What do you want to do when you're a teenager? Okay? I'm serious. We're going to have this discussion. So, when you're a teenager and you're playing in a video game, what do you want to do? You want to rule the video game, right? You want to make it yours. You want to, you know, do everything you want to do, regardless of what or who is playing with you, right? You want to troll it up. You want to, you know, destroy everything, right? Not everybody wants to do that. Oh, I'm sorry to enlighten you on that. Some people are actually a bit more mature than that. I mean, they will test the fabrics of what they can, just like any other like teenager or any other person. In the span of the flipping universe, people are gonna see what they can get away with. But who honestly wants to rule people? I know there's a lot of people who could lead other people and be damn happy skippy about that. There's quite the difference from leading someone to greatness than leading them to damnation or the demise of their entire species, if you would. So, I sit here and I question why anyone, yeah, of course, because that's what I needed. Oh, crap. No. Is that... I can't see. Okay. I kind of want to get somewhere high. Alright, so I can't fathom why anyone would sit there and try to roll other people into a hellish scape when they themselves are going to be living in this hellish scape or having to deal with that hellish scape that they are flipping trying to create. Are they just going to like unplug and then like, oh yeah, I'm done, and then leave everyone else to deal with what's going down? Because, like, for one, that kind of really sucks and shows what kind of horrible person you are. And for two, what the hell, dude? What the hell? Who hurt you? Why are you like that? Why do you want to see others suffer? You know? Are you really that unsure of yourself and that egged on to like see the demise of others? I mean, what is wrong with you? Obviously there's something wrong, right? Did did no one teach you that, you know, there are other things out there than destruction? I mean, what's going on? Did mama or papa or your genetic spawner not teach you right from wrong? Not teach you how to navigate the world? Like, what is up? You know, flip. It's like one reason you don't want to flip and go to someone else's area and trash it is because once found out, they get to go to your area and trash it. And they won't get in trouble for trash in your area because you started it. Okay. I was like, flip, who's that? Give me them arrows. One arrow. For reals? Flip's sake. Yeah, I was like, I think he's coming from above. But, that sounded weird. But, damn. That's why I don't understand warmongers. Like, I know you want to grab, stuff. I know you want to do the whole conquering thing. You know, finding more room for your planet or your civilization to expand or whatnot. I understand, okay? But there are better ways to do this. It's just people just like to ravage. They're just like, yeah, let's cause chaos. Let's do this. Let's do that. Is it making anything better? Nope. Is it forcing tons and tons of people into possible servitude? Possibly. Now, granted, what happens to slavers? Eventually, what happens to slavers? So, after you've conquered the whole galaxy or whatever, is that going to make you happy, or is someone else going to rise up, take a crusade, and flippin' try to exterminate all of your people just because? What the flip was that? Oh, flip! Ah! No, 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 no. I didn't look at you. I did not look at you. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just gonna sit here for a minute. So, what then? Are you gonna start fighting amongst the planets that you're on? You're gonna start fighting amongst different like ecosystem planets that you've established your people on? That these people are better than those people because they're on a better planet because it's not as what is that called? It's not as polluted due to the powered drilling and mining that you probably started doing just to get more weapons to conquer more planets to, you know, instill the fear in all of these people. So I'd like to ask again, why? It's probably gonna come down to because you can, right? That's one of my favorite excuses. Because I can. Because we're more powerful. They're weak. They're this. They're that. They were too aggressive. They were too this. They were too that. Everybody just goes on and on about these stupid things about why they're more sentient than the other people around them. And then it just turns into a blood fest. A bloody flippin' fest. And it just keeps going on repeat until there's nothing left and all of the planets around different solar systems are just completely empty and void of life because they've been taken advantage of, and it's just repeating and repeating and repeating because it's psychological. Everybody thinks that they're better than everybody else, and it's just stupid ridiculous. And then they end up wondering why they themselves get enslaved eventually. Now, do I think humans should go out and spread amongst all these other people that are out there? Is it my choice to make? Am I going to let this fall back on me? Possibly. Because I love the planet I'm on, and it's eventually going to turn into a desolate wasteland if people continue to do what they're flippin' doing. And it makes me sad. It makes me really sad. But who knows, maybe the next time around they'll actually understand what they're doing. Just a little bitter. Just a little. Alright, I don't see any flippin' witches out there, so I am kind of happy about that. Oh, goody. is it, like, really? I'm just like, I'm still stuck on this. Is it really that hard for people to get along throughout generations? I mean, why does it always have to come to, oh, we're better than this, and they're better than that, and all this stupid kapucky made up crap that people sit there and self entitle themselves into this or that kind of reasoning. Oh, well, we had to enslave them because they were just uh, worthless, mindless slobs that were just constantly getting into wars among themselves because we were taking control over their media and trying to force them into this. It's like, oh, look at the media they've created for themselves. Look at this. Look at that. It's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'm real sure that this is fantastic, logic for what you have. What you're trying to do. Everybody always has their damn agendas, their moral incompetence of what they believe to be right and wrong. It's like, are you kidding me? First off, don't kill all the population of the planet because, oh, guess what? They're needed. There are certain creatures on the planet that are doing a service for the planet, keeping the planet in a state of reincarnation. I mean, not only are these animals doing something to, for, and with the planet to keep the planet in a state of, like, life, okay, so if we go through some of the food chain of the planet that I'm on, so the insects, not only do they till the soil, move the soil around, they are, oh crap, they are pollinating, they are flipping, what is that word called? Back off, I'm not in the mood. Okay, they are sitting there continuing the food chain, okay? So you got insects that pollinate, you have mammals that pollinate, you have birds that pollinate, you have a ton of critters that sit there and pollinate, but it's not, they don't pollinate the same things. They pollinate different kinds of things. And that's where the functions of variety come into. And all these speculations of what people think our system actually needs versus what it actually needs. They're like, oh, no, well, we don't need these ecosystems because they're not good for humans. They're not good for bipedals and this race and whatnot. It's like, okay, well, the Earth, the planet that we're on does need, because this is vital for these creatures that we need because of these reasons. And it's like, oh, no, let's just get rid of all the swamplands. It's like, oh, no. Oh, I see a witch. Flip. I need to get the hell out of the way. I don't know how many, I'm panicking. I don't know how many, oh, they're not even chasing me. Let me just put a marker here. But now, there are certain animals that will eat certain plants, and that is the only way these plants can honestly come back year after year. Because they pass through these animals. And when they go through these animals, the seeds of those plants germinate in the climate of these animals. and they're going to end up killing certain ones, like certain animals, and these plants aren't going to be able to germinate and sprout up. So then we're going to have whole plant species that aren't even able to, anyways, they're not going to be able to grow. And it's like, so instead of learning everything they can about, now this is where I am fascinated about. So instead of learning everything they can from the animals that are in their locations, they decide to wipe out ecosystems for their own use. And it's not just here. There are things all over the systems doing this. And it's like, are you kidding me? When it comes down to it, it's going to be what animals are needed and what animals are not. And most of the time, bipedals are not needed in most areas. It's what people call the lower life forms that are the ones that are needed. So I hope people understand what they're doing when it comes down to it. And then, like, I guess they're going to call it Big Brother or Big Sister. Someone who comes here and decides that, hey, we need to revitalize things before this planet goes kaput because of these things that are crawling all over this planet. Whenever that happens, and people end up going through the what we needs and what we don't needs, I wonder who's going to make the cut. That looks like a witch up there. That really, maybe, I don't know. No. Okay. The stone is just so dark. Oh. I'm sorry, I'm testy today. As you can tell from my rants, over and over and over again. Just get even more testier, and then my rants make me angrier, and I'm just in an angry rut. I don't like people squandering things, honestly. It's like, do you not know that you're not the only entities here? Do you not know that there are animals that people are killing that are required for these certain areas? Okay, so let's talk about the tundras. Okay, so our super ancestors and whatnot, like, the ones that killed off the mastodons and the, what are they called? Not manatees. They're still around, but they're endangered. The mastodons and the, it starts with an M. Mammoths. Sorry. So those are elephants. Two different species of elephants that were quite adaptable towards the, I don't know, maybe I can... I don't think it's gonna let me. It's probably gonna just turn into a regular bow. Yeah, it's definitely not gonna let me. I will get rid of this, so... So, we end up getting tundras from that. Because the creatures that used to traverse the what now is tundras, large masses of areas that are no longer able to house suitable life. Only life that passes through on the way to other areas. So during, like, oh crap. You are a little... Anyways. They destroyed these creatures that were actually eating the vegetation, like letting the nature do its course, and then excreting the vegetation on these tundra lands, okay? Well, suffice to say, whenever they killed these species of elephant, you know, cousins of the elephant, they took out a major player of the ecosystem. And now we have large stretches of frozen cold that nothing grows on. We lost some plant species that only grew in these frozen cold areas. I'm sure if they go through the guts of some of these mastodons that got frozen with the flash freeze that happened up 10 years ago, they will find some of these seeds that could help, you know, but hey, I'm not forcing anyone to do anything, and obviously they'll figure it out eventually. And moving on, it's just sad, honestly. I'm gonna have to move that. Yeah. I know it sounds really hypocritical as I'm sitting here mining these resources and whatnot in a digital world where these resources continuously spawn given the right circumstances. And I am not trashing the world as I'm going. I am just lighting it up so that... Ooh, I want that. So that certain critters cannot spawn in large masses. Which, yeah, I guess I'm altering it to my safety. What else can I do? Let's sit here and voyeur through a digital creation. When the world is becoming so damn dangerous that most people don't even want to go outside their door. I'd like to believe that I am cognitively aware of what I'm doing in video games. But it's like, save character, save character. Critters trying to attack the body I am inhabiting, must protect. Mostly basic instinct. As I sit here semi-safe in this house. You don't want to know. And I continue on. I need this flippin' this material for my quest. My life quest in this game. So, I'm bummed. I mean, wouldn't you be bummed if, like, the whole of your entire existence is supposedly being in question because of certain things? People changing laws and enforcing certain ways of life on the people that they themselves would never adhere to. Whoops. Am I even close? Nope. Flip. Of course. Okay, so I need to dig 1, 4. Oops. Sorry, I'm gonna sit here and sigh for like ever. Maybe till I get blue in the face. Alright. They had to tell me I couldn't drink flippin' green tea. They had to flippin' ruin my day. Whoops. Alright, so that was the last straw, honestly. I'm like, you mother effers. Not only was all this added crap, but now you're taking away my green tea and like spinach and all this other stuff that I like. Do you know how much I like spinach? Spinach is amazing. It's a good source of iron. There's like because people juice it and stuff, and now it's like some sort of bad thing. Like, what the flip? It's like, are you people crazy? Anything in large quantities is bad for you. Anything. Like, flip, chamomile tea in large quantities is bad for you. Flippin' lemongrass tea in large quantities is bad for you. Dandelions, eating those in large quantities can be bad for you. It's like, flip. Breathing too much oxygen. Well, that's mostly for like the oxygen combination with nitrogen. If there's too much oxygen, then it's kind of bad. Like people will get oxygen sickness with when they're deep sea diving and whatnot, because there's like a specific composition, like anyways, there's a specific ratio of oxygen versus nitrogen versus like I think some other kinds of elements or whatnot that we have to breathe in order to survive. Just like fish, they breathe through the water, but they're still needing the oxygen in the water. If you're just giving them the oxygen pure, they can't process it, and then it dries out their gills, and then they end up not making it. And hermit crabs, they're like semi-aquatic, and they need a mixture of salt water and fresh water, and they flush the salt water and the fresh water through their gills in order to breathe the oxygen from the air. And it's like, okay, we all have our little, stitches like that we need. Snitches? Stitch? I don't know. But we all have our little ways of breathing. Oh, flip. You know how long it took for people to realize that a coconut crab was the last, like, metamorphosis or last stage of a hermit crab? Hermit crabs start off like this big, and then they end like this big. They're like flippin' mass, and then they have these big pinchers and everything. They could crack a flippin' coconut this big in their flippin' skull. Just imagine what they could do to a squishy human skull. They could just pop. But anyways, I like hermit crabs, okay? They're one of my favorite crabs that aren't a crab. My favorite crab that is a crab is a Halloween crab. They're like purple and orange, if not like yellow color. Very vibrant colors. And I think they live off of like, it's like a tropical island. I think it's kind of over towards like Asia. I've never seen one in person, but they're quite beautiful. My second favorite crab is the um, oh, sorry, that one's called the vampire crab. I don't know why they call it a vampire crab, but my second favorite is the Halloween crab. They have a little pattern on their back that looks like a smile, like a little face, and each one of their patterns are slightly unique, and they come in reds, whites, and like kind of like a reddish brown. Uh, Through adaptations and whatnot, uh, they developed a face on their back. Like, well, they can't see out of their back. They have little eyes that pop up and down. And, okay, well, the family that I was with, that I was semi a part of at the time, they, um, they inherited or like took in two horseshoe crabs because someone was moving and they couldn't take care of them anymore, and they became a part of our family. So that was both cool, and the one I was looking after mostly was the white one, and I called her Snowy because she reminded me of snow, and she was so gentle, like snowfall. She was wondrous. I grew a connection with her. Like, she was fantastic because we didn't know their names, so we had to rename them. But she was fantastic, and then they ended up taking them back. So they only lived with us for quite a few months, and I was so sad to hear that they had to go. I was like, I would read them bedtime stories, and I was, in a weird way, educating them on what like humans were like, even though they had been with other humans and whatnot. But yeah, it was pretty damn awesome, having them in the life for the small amount of time we did have them. They were so gentle. And I mean, like, you see those, like, wild crabs and everything, they're all mean and angry because they're just like, holy F, this critter is going to eat me or whatever. And these ones were just so gentle. I had never picked up a wild crab before then, but I understand why they're like, holy F, these things are going to eat me. And, because some people do eat crabs, so. I haven't the heart because of a bad experience in my teenage childhood. That like second, third stage of childhood, I guess. Well, I don't want to talk about it. There was a lot of screaming. But yeah, I had good experience with crab, and I want to just stay in the positive. And it was an actual crab. Like, some species actually evolve and to look like crabs because like the crabs have a good evolutionary chain, and they develop hard shells on the outside and squishy inner sides. We have squishy outer sides, like kind of elastic kind of squishiness, and then hard on the inside in certain places, like the bones, like our skull. That's kind of hard. It's it keeps our some of our vital organs pretty okay. And then we have like a rib cage to keep some of our other vital organs pretty okay. And then like we are semi-aquatic creatures as well. We need water in order to survive, fresh water mostly. You ask any surfers, they're like, no, need salt water and fresh water, but it depends on who you ask. Let's see. Try to think of some other stuff to talk about that's not going to instill anger or hate. Trying to stay positive, you know. Word functions. Um, Ooh, well, insects kind of, they have hard outer bodies and then squishy insides as well. I don't knock them. There's a lot of insects that are considered pests that I don't consider pests, and I'm just like, okay, they're just trying to live their lives too. Now, granted, if they were gigantic in the sense of gigantism and everything, yeah, they would possibly be trying to eat humans because, like, yeah, who wouldn't try to eat something that looks squishy and soft? I mean, I'm not advocating to eat humans, of course, you know. But anyways, I have been bit by a grasshopper. I have also eaten a grasshopper. Not the same grasshopper. Well, in my youth, I wanted to explore and was left alone a lot to not explore, but to raise myself. I was, I guess you would call a wild child. And, like after my mother passed away, I had to grow up very fast, if that makes sense. And it wasn't like always fun. So I had to find my own ways of making things fun. And before you ask, no, I wasn't one of those people who delighted in the torture of other things. I learned from a small age that, well, a young age, that critters felt and they expressed things, and they were possibly as sentient as I, if not more so, in certain regards. Because they knew more about the land than I did. They knew more places to hide, and they were better at defending themselves from a young age. Whereas, like, humans, they need a lot of help in certain regards, especially when they're younger. A lot of guidance, too. I tell you what. But, I think I'm kind of done with this area. I don't see any more. I could probably fit more of that in there, but I think I'm kind of good with the redstone. I'm just gonna leave this area. But yeah, okay, I was talking about being a wild child. I would catch things, and some of the things that I would catch just to see what they were because I was a curious one, they would bite. And I had no fathom or reason of things that could be poisonous to me, so I could have possibly died a couple times over catching the snakes that I did catch. And I am happy that some of the snakes that I did catch, decided not to bite me, and when they were poisonous and they realized that I was one of the younger things um, of a species, and you know, but yeah, I mean, I used to catch all kind of things, and some of those things were kind of poisonous. I I actually caught a cottonmouth, which is highly deadly to the species that I am at this current time. Who knows? Maybe someone's gonna meet me in another form. I don't know. So I'm gonna cover all the check boxes for this. And it did not bite me. It was cool as a cucumber and calm and let me touch it, and I held it, and I I even turned it over, which turns out snakes really don't like being turned over. And it gave me the kindness of any other creature, and just like, okay, this is annoying, but hey, put me back down. I'm done with this. So, oh, but I suffice to say, yeah, I was a wild child, and I like to explore when I was able to explore. It's like I'm just thinking, going through puberty is different for everyone, but getting certain ailments after going through puberty is not fun. And for those of you who have gotten those ailments, that sucks, and I feel you. I honestly feel you. It really, 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 really sucks. When like genetics pop up and say, oh, hey, like, hey, back in the distant past, you had an ancestor or something that couldn't actually survive in certain locations. So, yeah, bam, you too. You too. It's like, I know likey, but ideal. I had 13 years of it though, yay! Of normal childhood, so, semi-normal childhood. I played a lot of video games because of it though, so. No, I don't think that's a diamond. No, that looks like no, that's just bluestone. That's gold, but I don't feel like it. I have 55 already. Okay, so it seems like they're having trouble getting up here, which is nice. Let me just make it a little bit harder. I need to check, whoops, something, so this is going to, damn it. Okay, so I won't be like hit off from here now. Alright, so I gotta find the location again. Good thing I have it marked down. Negative 694. Gotta get up to the altitude of 29 instead of the negative 23 that we're at. So I know how to get up, but I don't know where to go to get up. And then the negative 1875. Definitely not in that direction. Okay. Okay, so this, we're going down with this one. We need to go this way and that way. Okay. Maybe. Not that way. Well, this is interesting. Let's see if we can't find our way out. Okay, so I might have to build up. Or wait, what is this? Did I get knocked down from somewhere? Or I'm not taking the right passageway? Oh, flip, you scared me. Those jump scares, I tell you what. 9 arrows. Okay. I found more gold. Supposed to be finding my way out, but I'm gathering more gold. Ay, ay, ay. Maybe I am turning into a greed monger. No. Had you going for a second, though. Yeah. I am a scavenger. I scavenge what I need for the game in whatever game I'm playing. Sometimes I over scavenge. Okay, so how the flip am I supposed to get out of here? Did I come in through that little... Maybe. Nope. I'm sorry, I'm not going to remember anywhere where I was. I was venting, I was angry, and I'm not going to remember. So it might have to, Okay, I do remember being here. Okay, that's interesting. So I just need to find another one of those. Been there a couple times. Okay. Possibly this way? I don't know. Doesn't look like it. I have been here, but doesn't look like the exit. Alright. That is not. Maybe. Alright, I'm stuck. Can I? Thank you. I didn't come down here from here, did I? What was that? Okay, so this is going in the wrong direction. I need to go this way. Oh, hold on. No. Okay, so I'm going this way. Must be some way over this way then. Alright. I got frustrated. I am making my way over. Do I know you? Whoa. Is there a chest in there? Oh, and a spawner. So. Don't judge me. They haven't realized how to hit me yet. Oh, what's this? This 13 again? Oops. Rest in peace. Sorry. Sorry. Always this 13. Why? Are they trying to tell me something? Honestly? Oops. Mm. Okay. So I'm gonna go this way then. Oh. I don't like being ho-hum. I'd rather be happy. It's too late to shove any chocolate in my face, though. I require certain things after chocolate after a certain time, so it's too late for chocolate. I think I'm headed the right way. Yep. Okay, this is kind of promising. Oh. might just dig into the sea like this, but it should be interesting then. Possibly have to swap this. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Oh, hold off on that. Oh, look, it's the sea. Wow. Get all my torches. What do you think? I've almost caught up to them. I think I caught up to all my torches. Nope, still a few down there. I needed my torches, okay? Sorry, I'm craning my neck. I'm just like, yeah, I need to look up. I'm telling you, people are gonna get lost in VR. They're just gonna get lost. They're going to want to be on the VR more than anything ever. So many antisocial people. So sad. If only people like remembered what they learned in like kindergarten, or learned the right thing in kindergarten. You know, respect one another, don't steal from one another, flipping what is that word? Let's just dig in here. Yeah, respect one another, learn how to share, don't hurt people, don't hurt one another. I'm sure people could follow some of those rules, but whatever. Okay, not cool. I'm stuck. Not cool. Whoops. just in case that happens again. Whoops. Alright. I'm out of the mine. It's the sky. Oh no. Yeah, of course, those things with first creatures I see out. Well, I know I have a base next to this, a shore. Yep, there it is. Oops, I want to take out that. Huh. Well, since I'm here already. I got a lot of stuff in there. I'll just get up. You know, because it's nighttime. Okay. I think that we've hit the immense mother lode of all things. I don't know if I'm gonna need, like, maybe. Let me just, Yep, I guess I'll just need that last one. Mm. Gonna make myself a little cubby. Because it is that time that I need to wind down and get ready for CBC. It's gonna be interesting, honestly. Can't wait to see. Gotta sleep. Alright, well, you know. Yeah, see you soon.